The US President Donald Trump has announced that it's time to back Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights, making the US the first country to do so. Now, the Golan Heights is a plateau along the north of Israel's border with Syria that Israel seized in 1967. Trump's announcement marks a dramatic shift in US policy and might give a major boost to the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the middle of his re-election campaign, which is mired in corruption allegations. The decision also comes days before Netanyahu's visit to Washington. Netanyahu himself, of course, welcomed the move by saying that Donald Trump has created history.
President Trump has just made history. I called him. I thanked him on behalf of the people of Israel. He did it again. First, he recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and moved the U.S. embassy here. Then he pulled out of the disastrous Iran treaty and reimposed sanctions. But now he did something of equal historic importance. He recognized Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And he did so at a time when Iran is trying to use Syria as a platform to attack and destroy Israel. And the message that President Trump has given the world is that America stands by Israel. We're celebrating Purim when 2,500 years ago, other Persians, led by Haman, tried to destroy the Jewish people. They fell then. And today, 2,500 years later, again, Persians led by Khomeini are trying to destroy the Jewish people and the Jewish state. They're going to fail again. We are deeply grateful for the U.S. support. We're deeply grateful for the unbelievable and unmatchable support for our security and our right to defend ourselves, and everything that you do on behalf of Israel and for the state of Israel in so many forms.
But the latest position taken by the US is controversial because Israel's annexation of Golan Heights is not recognized by the international community. Trump's move greatly compromises a couple of standing international laws, such as the UN Security Council Resolution 242 or the Land for Peace Resolution, which has been in place since the end of the Six-Day War in 1967. The resolution affirms that regional countries cannot take land from others. The US's latest move also undermines the UNSC Resolution 497 that notes that acquisition of territory by force is inadmissible. But Trump's decision might boost Netanyahu's chances of a victory in a really tough election on the 9th of April. He may probably be indicted on corruption charges by Israel's Attorney General, but the latest shift in the policy stance of the US is also being seen as Trump coming to the rescue of his friend. Trump's already been called out by Syria and Turkey. Damascus condemned the US move. Syria vowed to use all available means to recover Golan Heights. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan criticized the move as well. He said that Trump's decision to recognize Israel's sovereignty over Golan Heights has brought the region to the edge of a new crisis.
Son olarak dün Amerika Başkanı Trump'ın Golan Tepeleri ile ilgili talihsiz açıklaması bölgeyi yeni bir krizin, yeni bir gerilimin eşiğine getirmiştir. Türkiye'nin ve İslam İşbirliği Teşkilatı'nın böyle hassas bir meselede sessiz kalması, emrivakilere boyun eğmesi düşünülemez. Golan Tepelerinin işgalinin meşrulaştırılmasına asla izin veremeyiz.
Meanwhile, Syria's ally Russia has said that US recognition of Golan Heights would go against the US, or rather the United Nations stance on the issue.
Сама по себе такая идея никоим образом не способствует целям и задачам ближневосточного урегулирования, скорее наоборот. И в данном случае, конечно, пока это только некий призыв. Будем надеяться, что призывом это и останется.
WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani joins us on the broadcast from Amman for more. Daniele, good evening. For Netanyahu, is this a possibility for him to reap this for electoral gains in the upcoming elections? He's mired in all kinds of controversy right now.
Good evening to you and to all our viewers. Yes, certainly Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu can use this latest move by President Donald Trump to his advantage during the election. Why so? Netanyahu, when he became Prime Minister of Israel in 2009, changed completely the communication paradigm on the Golan Heights. He was the one who actually took a very tough stance, saying that that was Israeli territory, period. Negotiations with Russia and within the international community stopped under Netanyahu, and Russia said that they did not have any interlocutor in Israel to talk about the Golan Heights. Furthermore, in 2017, precisely in February, at the White House, when Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with the recently elected President of the United States, Donald Trump, he personally advocated and requested Donald Trump to recognize Israeli sovereignty on the Golan Heights. So the Prime Minister of Israel can well present these as his very own success, which will of course help him to possibly win the elections. The sovereignty question on the Golan Heights is something that within Israel and in the hearts of many Israelis has a top position.
All right, so it's an emotive issue, but can I ask you also, does this prove once again that the US under Trump is going to upset the apple cart with scant regard, really speaking, for international opinion, as was the case with the US choosing to move its embassy to Jerusalem?
So if we put all facts into line, we can start with A, as you said, the United States moved its embassy to the contested city of Jerusalem, which is not internationally recognized as the capital city of Israel. Tel Aviv is. Second, the United Nations cut more than $300 million to the UNRWA, which is the UN agency taking care of the Palestinian refugees. Third, the United States recognized the Golan Heights. Fourth, the United States quit the United Nations Agency for Human Rights, citing bias against Israel, and the same happened with the UNESCO. So yes, we are witnessing perhaps one of the most pro-Israeli administration in Washington. Why so? Well, mostly because of Iran. President Donald Trump is spearheading the international coalition against the Iranian expansion all over West Asia. And of course, the pillar of the strategy is Israel. A strong anti-Iran Israel is what President Donald Trump and what Washington needs in order to counter militarily, diplomatically and politically the Iranian influence over the region.
Right, and within the US as well, Daniele, I suppose any move that sort of appeases to Jewish sentiment within the United States is also an important factor for President Trump.
Definitely yes. As we all know, the Israeli lobby within the United States and within the Congress is very powerful, both in the Republican and in the Democratic Party, in terms of funds and in terms specifically of protection of United States interests all across West Asia. The history of Israel goes hand in hand with the history of the United States, at least I'm talking post-Second World War. Having the Jewish lobby backing him and backing all the choices that he makes is fundamental for Trump if he wants to keep the Americans protected here in West Asia, the American interest, the American military interest protected here in West Asia.
Daniele Pagani, thanks very much for breaking that down for us. Appreciate it.